Hello and welcome to this very quick video about the thing that's inside here. Inside here at the back is the Nexus. Now, I've done quite a few videos. In fact, I've done an entire playlist on this at this point. I'll put the links down below. The Nexus was a flight controller created by RadioMaster to run rotor flight for helicopters. However, as of INAV 9.X, it is also configurable and set upable as a plane stabilizer, but I would always add a little GPS and turn it a full INAV wing because you get so many additional benefits. Now, I've had a couple of questions about the same thing, and this has been the latest one that I've just received. I wasn't going to do a video on it, but you know what? As I'm being asked, yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's talk about adding FPV to your Nexus. So let's talk first of all about adding HD FPV. Now, I have done another video in my INAV for Beginners 2026 series that I'll link down below that shows you the entire steps to go through to configure HD FPV on any INAV flight controller, and the Nexus is no different. There are 4 wires that come out of most HD FPV units. 2 of them are for voltage and for the ground pin. The other 2 are a transmit and receive pair. That transmit and receive pair can be plugged into any spare UART. They have 2 spare ports on the side of the Nexus that you could use for that. And then I would normally solder on the plus and minus cables coming out of the Walksnail unit in this particular instance onto something like a balance tap, and that's typically the way I would do it here. If I was about to add a HD FPV system in the nose of this plane, I would put a balance tap for the 3S battery and plug it into the battery when the GPS had locked, and I'd run a couple of cables into one of the ports at the side, set it up as MSP display port as usual, as you would normally. So there's no challenges in terms of HD FPV, because everything happens in the HD FPV system. With analog, it's a little bit of a different story. Now, the way that analog FPV works is the camera video comes into the flight controller, a little chip inside called a MAX chip typically adds the on-screen display information, and then the video output is then put out that has the video from the camera with the on-screen display overlaid on top, and then that goes to the video transmitter and down to your goggles. The challenge with this is the Nexus was never designed to have that MAX chip inside. Now, back in the day, we used to, before flight controllers had analog stuff inside for on-screen displays, we used to have a separate board externally that you connect everything to. I'm not even sure that those are still available. If they are, then you could use those in the same way for analog, but there's a lot more messing around with the Nexus for analog FPV. It's probably doable, but there's lots of soldering and messing about to get it to work. Now, there is only one wrinkle that I'll draw your attention to. I was playing with Walksnail here to set this up, and I bumped into a problem where it didn't seem to work. Apparently, I'm not the only one with this, and actually looking at the GitHub, it appears that someone else, Joe8012, had already reported this, where he was struggling to get the Walksnail HD kit working with the NEXUS-X. However, he figured out the answer, and it's the same one that I found as well. What you have to do is you need to upgrade the avatar firmware to one of the latest versions, and then the OSD appears. Now, obviously, that's not going to affect things like HD0 or DJI, but I just thought I'd bring your attention to this in case you are wanting to use Walksnail with it. You are going to have to be using one of the latest versions of the firmware. So hopefully that answers the question for those of you that has been interested. The short answer is, if it's HD FPV, yeah, it's pretty standard stuff. The only thing you have to worry about is where you're going to get the power for the unit, because it doesn't come from the flight controller. There's no onboard battery eliminator circuit giving 9 or 12 volts that you can use. But for analog, it's a little bit more complicated. This doesn't have the special MAX chip inside, typically, that it uses to add that analog on-screen display. So by default, with it as it sits here, analog isn't going to work. You're going to have to try and figure out an external board or something to do that MAX chip overlay work. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Painless 360 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.